Hi everyone, this is Robert over at Burton Racing. Today we're going to be doing a new product reveal for you guys. It's going to be our plug and play boost by gear kits. This kit was specific to 88 and 2001 Honda Acura chassis, but with a little bit of work it could be modified and fit several other different makes and models. We're going to be going over the install on Jan's 89 CRX with a D16 VTEC engine. What this kit does is it's going to send power and ground signals out to your boost solenoid and allow your ECU to control and modify your boost levels. Now we'll be going over the contents of our kit. The first part is our plug and play boost by gear harness. On one end you're going to have your fuse tap. This is a standard fuse tap. We build these in several other versions, such as the standard, the mini, and a micro fuse. Micro fuse is going to be used on your late model newer cars. The mini is going to be used on your OBD2 such as 96 to 2001 cars, and the standard is going to be most likely OBD0 to OBD1 cars like what we're going to be showing you today. We also have our ground lead with an OBD1 Honda ECU pin that's already crimped onto it. If you're using this for other applications, you may want to remove that or cut it and strip it back so you can wire it into your harness. On the other side, running out to our engine bay, is our 2-pin DTM connector. It's weatherproof. Plugs in just like so. You're also going to get a 3-port MAC solenoid that already has the opposite end of the DTM connector crimped onto it. Now we can also do these kits in MAC 4-port solenoid setups. We also include 15 feet of nylon DOT rated air line. Most kits are going to supply you with polyethylene line. It's not going to be as rigid or stand up to heat, oil, or gasoline. That line is typically used for irrigation setups. This is what we recommend and this is what we sell. You're also going to get a very good wide range of push lock fittings for your line. These are going to go from your turbo and your wastegate, hook to the line, and then connect over to your solenoid. We also have a breather and several different options. There's so many fittings that you're going to get with the kit. There's many different ways you can route the setup. Their fittings will vary depending if you order a 3-port and a 4-port kit, but if you need different fittings or specific fittings, just let us know and we can take care of that for you. So we're going to be moving on to the installation portion of the boost by gear kit. We have an Honda OBD1 ECU. This one's running S300 V3 with our coil-on plug kit. We have 2 jumper harnesses here. If you have an OBD1 chassis, you won't need this, but we have one for OBD2A and one for OBD2B. You'll notice on one, the wire is not going to the other side of the connector. It's just going to the OBD1 connector. It's already cut and stripped back, so for some customers it may be easier just to cut and strip your ECU pin wire and wire it up. On this connector you will notice that the pin is running to the other side of the connector, so we're going to go over depinning the OBD1 ECU connector and installing the boost by gear harness pin. Now most OBD1 ECUs, depending on your software and your ECU, S300 is going to be using pin A11 for the pulse width management for the boost by gear solenoid. You do want to verify which pin you're supposed to be using and change your application if you need to. Now we're going to be going over depinning and repinning the OBD1 ECU connector. We have to release the top tab of the connector to expose the back of the wires, just like so. We have a small depinning tool here. You need to work your way up under the retaining clip. Just verify which pin is the right one. Just like so. Now you're going to come back in with the Boost by Gear harness, and you're just going to simply install that pin. Once installed, you just clip back the OBD1 connector. You can cut this back, secure it with some electrical tape, just keep it out of the way. Now we can run the harness out to the Boost by Gear solenoid. So now we're moving on to the inside under dash fuse box installation. We have our fuse tap here. We're going to be using an empty slot on the fuse box. If we were going to be adding it onto a circuit that's used, we would remove the fuse out of that slot, install it into the bottom section of the fuse tap. Since we're going to be using an empty slot, we're going to leave the bottom open, and we're going to add our supplied 10 amp fuse into the top slot of the fuse tap. Once we do that, we just install it into the fuse box like so, and we're done. We're ready to run out to the engine bay and connect the Boost by Gear solenoid. So now we've ran our harness out to our engine bay where we have our MAC 3-port solenoid mounted. We have our 2 wires, our power and ground. We're running 2 90-degree fittings off the 3-port with a breather in the middle. So our 2 lines from our MAC solenoid are running out to our turbo and our wastegate. One line is connected directly to our turbo to the bottom of the wastegate with a T in between those running back to the solenoid, and then one straight from the solenoid to the top of the wastegate to regulate the boost pressures. So now you've seen the contents of the kit and the full install on JNCRX. After everything's hooked up, you're going to need to go into your ECU settings and set your duty cycle, also whether it's a fixed setting or a by gear setting. This is going to be completely dependent on the tuning software you're using. So now that we've covered all that, Boost by Gear plug and play kit, make sure you subscribe, like our video, go to our Facebook, like our page, check out our Instagram, and there will be, in our description, there's going to be contact information, our email, website, and several other forms of communication. Thank you.